Hey, how's it going? Today I'm talking about the best way to get stronger. This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury prone Run Disney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line. Okay, so you know that the best way to get stronger is to do strength workouts. You know that. The easy part is knowing that you should do strength workouts and finding free workouts online. I love the internet. You can find anything you want. I started crocheting in 2023, and if I want a pattern for any kind of stuffed animal and amigurumi, I think I'm saying that right, which is what I like to do. I make little crochet Disney dolls. I make little crochet animals. They're really fun to do. I've gotten pretty good at them, but in the beginning I sucked. It was terrible. It took me, I think my first Pierre, which is a penguin that I made, my first Pierre, I think took me 2 months. I had stop, go, start over, get frustrated. Now I can do Pierre in about 90 minutes. So I have come a long way. And now I've progressed so much that I can just keep going. I could do something else. I can find a pattern online. I even did the what is it? The very hungry caterpillar. I always want to call it the hungry caterpillar, like hungry hippos. But no, I did the very hungry caterpillar for my brother. My brother and his wife had a baby in August, and I made the very hungry caterpillar. And I kind of winged some of the patterns. I looked at a few online, and I was like, okay, I can totally do this. It took me forever. I do not recommend. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. It just took forever. But finding the workouts, oh my God, my mind. Finding the patterns and then figuring it out, winging it on my own, that was not a good idea. I should have bought a complete very hungry caterpillar set of patterns, and it would have been so much easier. But you live and you learn. I thought I thought I had all of the patterns. I didn't. Anyway, so long story short on that one, you can find anything on the internet. You can find the crochet patterns you want. You can find the strength workouts you want. You can find free training plans like what I have on my website. I give out my free training plans for Dopey Goofy Marathon, Half Marathon, 2-course challenge, Chills and Thrills. If Disney has it, I have a training plan for it. And so you can find anything on the internet. Strength workouts, free training plans are aplenty on the internet. There is no shortage of finding those on the internet. The hard parts are finding the ones that work for you and doing them at the right time to maximize your effort. So we're talking about strength workouts today because I'm talking about how to get stronger. If you went on Google, if you went on YouTube, which is owned by Google, you would find so many strength workouts. You can find one that the title looks like it'll work for you, the trainer looks like it will be somebody that works for you, and then you do it, and it could be completely different than what you thought it was going to be. It could be really, really hard. It could be really, really easy. And you don't want either of those, right? If it's too hard, you're not going to do it. Nobody wants to be sore for days. Well, I'm sure somebody does, but I don't want to be sore for days. Yes, I understand I'm going to be sore from some strength workouts for a day, maybe 36 hours. But beyond that, I don't want to do a workout on Monday and still be feeling it on Saturday. That is just not how I want to live my life, because if I'm doing some kind of workout that makes my quads and my glutes kill me, I don't want to be reminded of that every time I get up from my chair at my computer, every time I get off the toilet, every time I go up and down stairs. I don't want to be reminded about the strength workout I did earlier this week. And If it's too easy, you're not going to make any progress. So you're going to be doing something for practically nothing. I say practically because obviously every little bit of movement counts. But if you're looking to get stronger, it actually needs to get you stronger. So, a good example is I had a client, Jessica, that's not her real name. And she had long standing knee problems. And I bring this story up because I I call her Jessica. I'm thinking of 5 clients right now that had almost the exact scenario, minor details different. So, Jessica had longstanding knee problems. They ached every once in a while, but they would really crank up when she trained for a race. And she would get to the point in her training plan where she's hitting 8, 9, 10 plus mile runs. And training for dopey, you have a lot of those. And at first, she tried taking more rest in between runs. Like, okay, well, I ran on Sunday, my knees hurt. I'm going to wait until Tuesday or Wednesday to go run again. Tried stretching before, icing after. And when those weren't working, she switched to looking for strength workouts. She even had one of those like mirror workout things. I think the Tonal or Lululemon has one. Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know. I don't have one. Peloton workouts because of the strength workouts that come with the Peloton programming, and she would do great. 3 strength workouts a week. 3 strength workouts a week, she was on a roll. She was able to go through the abundant library that exists with those programs and choose something that looked good for the time frame she wanted, 30 minutes, 3 times a week. But then she found herself having to skip almost half of the workout because it either hurt her knees too much or she couldn't do it. And there was no way to modify it. She can't just, pick and choose part of this workout plan and part of that workout plan, stop halfway through this one, pick up the other one, then pick up the first one again. It's too much technology to be able to do it right that way. So she'd go in the cycle doing really great for a few weeks, and then she'd be forced to stop because she needed to take a break from it. She was sore all the time, not wanting to deal with having to find a workout that worked for her. She was just over it. So she would just stop. She was exhausted from training, and she was exhausted from getting hurt whenever she hit 8, 9, 10 miles and trying to strength train. So she stopped getting injured. So she's racking up all of this time trying to do all of these things and it wasn't working. So she found my Instagram. We started working together and I took her through a series of strength tests to check what muscles were weak, what moves were weak, how weak they actually were. So then we knew exactly what moves she needed to work out, how to break them down if they were too painful, if she was really weak, how much weight and resistance to actually use. So she was able to push herself enough to get stronger, but not be so sore for the whole week after. One of the biggest breakthroughs Jessica said she had was when I organized her training schedule to build the bulk of her strength efforts before official training for her race even started. She said she had been trying to build all of it all at the same time, and it was just so overwhelming. So instead of getting stronger and getting faster and getting more miles in every week, like she was trying to do it all, I mean, really, just like saying all of that is exhausting to me. We organized her schedule so she could focus on getting stronger, faster, and building stamina in distinct, specific timelines so she could maximize her efforts and make sure her energy was going to building strength at one time, to getting faster at another time, and having more stamina at another time. So I'm telling you all of this because I want you to avoid those mistakes so that you can get the most out of your efforts. Trying to search for the perfect free YouTube strength workout, it doesn't exist. You will have to patchwork things together, and making that work with your training plan, it will work for probably about a month. And then if you're like most of my clients, if you're like, Jessica, shit will hit the fan and you'll be like, I am so exhausted from trying to figure all this out, trying to piece it together, trying to take half of this workout, half of that workout, half of another workout. The math ain't mathin'. And trying to build the strength, get stronger, get faster, get the miles in all at the same time. It works for like a month and then you're just over it. It's too much. So look at your calendar. When is your race? So find it on the calendar. So my next race as of right now is Chills and Thrills Challenge, plus the 5K. I booked that separately. So for anybody who's new to Run Disney or new to the challenges, typically the 2-course challenge is the 10K and the half marathon. If you want to do the 5K, that is typically separate. Springtime Surprise, the 5K is included. It's the 5K, 10K, and 10 miler. Dopey, 5K, 10K, half, and full marathon, it's included. But all the other challenges are 2 races at a time. So find it on the calendar. So mine is the beginning of September. Now you want to count back about 3.5 months for the half marathon or the 10K and half marathon challenge, and 6.5 months for the marathon, goofy, or dopey. Okay? So what is that date? So you have the date of your race, and now what is the date of either the 3.5 or the 6.5 months ahead of that? Write it down. That is roughly when you want to start official training for that race. So for the goofy, dopey, and for the full marathon, that's like the first week in July. Okay. That's about 6.5 months, give or take a little bit of time. That's roughly when official training starts. Now count back about 3.5 months from that date. Write down what date is that. So if we're talking, let's say July 1st for dopey, we're counting back 1 to June 1, 2 to May 1, 3 to April 1, 3.5. We're talking mid to late March. Okay. That is the time frame. That's roughly when you should start strength training. That should be your strength training focus in those 3 to 3.5 months. Okay. It takes 3 months to notice a significant change in strength, to build muscle. It takes 3 months. I've had clients who, we've been working together for like 2 weeks, and they'll send me a message and they'll say, can we change up my strength workout? I don't think it's doing anything. And I ask, well, what should it be doing? And then they tell me, usually take away the pain, or I don't feel stronger. And honestly, you won't. Strength exercises don't take away current pain in the moment. That's what heat, ice, any over-the-counter NSAIDs, massage gun. That's what those things are for. Those take away pain in the moment. They calm down pain and inflammation. And then strength workouts, they take 8 to 12 weeks to notice a significant difference. And I add in that extra month and really say 3 months, even though research says 8 to 12 weeks, so 2 to 3 months. But to really notice that difference, I find that it really isn't until that 3rd month. So 2 weeks, it's just too early. Your muscles have not made any change yet. They've probably started storing a little water, so they feel a little bulkier. They've started some normal micro tearing, micro breakdown, because they do have to break down just a smidge to build back up. And so you start feeling some of that swelling and weight from the reactions that are happening on the inside. But 2 weeks is not enough time to notice some strength differences. You really do need to start doing that early and give it the 3 months. And remember, we're saying to do this for the 3 months before training officially starts. Now, that doesn't mean that you're done. It's all said and done at the 3 month mark. No, no, no. That's just where you have built up, spent the majority of your time focusing on that. You can also start focusing in on your speed at the same time. You can start improving your pace, working on getting faster while you're also working on getting stronger in this time frame. And then when you get into the official training, you can switch priorities where you still are doing your speed workouts, you still are doing your strength workouts, but they are going to be smaller changes at this point because they won't be your priority. Priority will be getting time on your feet, building miles, building stamina, getting the endurance to be able to go the distance, to be able to run 48.6 miles for Dopey or 19.3 miles for your other challenges or 13.1 miles for your half marathon. Whatever the distance is, it doesn't matter. It still should be broken down into these separate priorities. And that's why I map out phases of a running journey. You have your build phase, your training phase, your taper phase, your race phase, and your rest and recovery phase. These 3 months that I'm talking about to build strength, that's your build phase. You're building strength, you're building speed. You can do those things at the same time in those 3 months, and they are separate from the official training phase because then you want to switch priority and build the endurance. Because building the endurance, getting the time on your feet, you're going to exhaust yourself just from that. If you've ever run the marathon or Dopey or Goofy, you know that by the end of training, you're like, I just want to be done. I'm so tired. Well, can you imagine doing all of that and trying to build strength and get faster all at the same time? No, let's do those two things before official training starts. Build up the bulk of your strength before, and then it's maintenance phase throughout training. Maybe some continued building strength in the first couple of months while miles are still low for your training plan. And you can still build speed and get faster, but those are going to be smaller changes. And that's okay because there's still every bit counts, right? Every ounce of effort counts. But let's separate it and let's prioritize differently to maximize the efforts. For the runners that want to finish their next Run Disney race stronger and faster so you stop getting injured, you beat the balloon ladies, and you cross the finish line, I invite you to check out my newest program, Stronger, Faster, Finisher. Get the workouts you need to build speed, stamina, and strength. If that sounds like something you're looking for your next race, visit the link in the show notes to learn more. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.